Hey, we're live here on Brunch with Brian. And today we're doing something different with the background, as you can see. So I am going to talk about doing virtual deal meetings and what you do with your virtual backgrounds and where you are, what your background's going to be. So obviously today I'm doing some interesting things. Now this is my normal background that I use a lot, which is our just a built-in shelves. And so I like the background. It has good wood, and it looks kind of fancy. So, but I want you guys to be very aware of what your background is, because when you're doing deals in other states, you're going to talk to sellers. And, sometimes you want to stay, you don't want to get live, you don't want to have them see you, because you're shy or whatever, you don't want to put on makeup or whatever. But it's important to make that connection. And that's where you make the connection, is when you get on a video chat. So I want you to get a good camera. Now I have two different I could use this camera I have here, or I can use the camera that's actually on my laptop, which I use sometimes, but doesn't have good range for exposure. So your laptop camera, it can't handle bright light next to darker contrast. It has problems with contrast. So what you'll see is this side of my face will be completely like white, okay, instead of any skin tone. It's still pretty white. We've got a big bright picture window over on this side. So that side's always going to be really bright. But if you don't have a great camera, you'll look totally washed out on the light side and then kind of dark on the other side. So it's worth it to invest in a decent camera. I will tell you the one that we have here. I'll give you the name of it. It's not too expensive. It's the Avaya HC020. It looks like HC020. And that's an Avaya camera. And this one's kind of fancy because you can zoom in and out. So a lot of these cameras, you can't do stuff like that. This one, I can zoom in, I can zoom really in, I can zoom way out. It kind of has a fisheye look. And also, this is cool, on this particular camera, you can go from side to side. Even though I'm not moving the camera, obviously the camera's in the same place, but I can go up, down. Now I put a nice background of if you guys have a TV where you can put, backgrounds on, sometimes that's nice. So this is obviously a background. You can see it sometimes. They're not blurry if I get back here, but that is balloons floating through the sky, so that's nice. Now, obviously, I have the blur feature on right now. Now, I think the blur feature is okay. If you have a nice background behind you, or if it's just a picture, what I like behind you is your diploma. If you're sitting like in an office setting and you have a diploma, it's like a doctor's office. Why do doctors put their diplomas on their wall? Because it gives them credibility. So what do you want your background to give you? The two things we always look for is rapport and credibility. On every contact. Now, the three main contacts you're going to have with a seller are opening call, closing call, and deal meeting. Usually they're not going to see you in the opening call. That's normally just a call, and you're just making a connection with them. And usually on the closing call, you're not going to see them. But the deal meeting is when you're going to see them live on video. And sometimes, if you're getting heavy into the closing call, you might even say, let's do a video chat. So, but for sure the deal meeting, you're going to go live in front of them. And so that's where you need, and the first two steps in the opening call and the closing call and the deal meeting. Number one, build rapport. Number one, establish credibility. Two, build rapport. So, when you're looking at yourself on your own camera, no, I'll wear a tie. I'll dress up for a deal meeting. I won't, with you guys, I wear a regular sports shirt in the morning. I don't want to put on a tie every morning, but for your deal meetings, you got to take it seriously and you got to look professional. Professional is the biggest thing. And some of your guys' backgrounds are not professional and they don't look good. They're too cluttered. Keep your bed. Try not to shoot in your bedroom. I don't want to see a bed in the shot. I like an office background if possible, or something fancy, and you're probably going to be sitting down, so some kind of an office. If you're by, and sometimes your kitchen works, and guys, remember, look at all the people who do all the broadcasting from their homes now. That's the wild thing. 2 years ago, you didn't know what everybody's house looks like. Now you know what, like, your favorite commentators on the sports and the news and stuff, they're all coming from their houses. So they work hard to set up a nice background, trust me. So look at some of them. That's a really good way to kind of say, well, is my background as good as that, or is it too busy? There's kind of a balance between too busy, not busy enough. Now, if it's too busy, what can you do? You can do the blur feature like this. Now, I don't normally do this blur feature, and it kind of throws me a little bit. So I actually almost never do this feature. So really, I would usually not do this. I would usually do just a normal, not blurred shot. But this is good, and just be aware of your background and make sure you don't have big bright lights behind you, because then your face is going to be all in shadow. Make sure you have some good light source coming from the front, but not too bright. That's the other thing. And remember, if you have a cheapo camera, you're going to get all washed out from any light, and you're going to have contrast problems and color problems. The best thing, again, is if you can get this kind of camera that you can actually zoom in, zoom out, do go up, go down, do blurs, different cool things. So now remember, depending on what service you're using, whether it's Zoom, StreamYard, now obviously if you're just doing a straight up video chat, there's certain things you can do and certain things you can't do in terms of your backgrounds and blurring and all that. So get used to however you're going to do your video chat, get used to what's on your phone, the different kind of features you can do, and you can pick generic backgrounds too. So you can pick some kind of an office background. That's what I'd recommend. If you are going to pick a different background and not just blur your own office background, which the problem with blurring your own office background, you can see when I'm moving my hands around and stuff, I'm half blurry and there's some kind of blurry by my face sometimes. So it's not the perfect technology, and it can actually be a little distracting. I don't know if you found this to be distracting or not. But I want you guys to, use the blur feature, use whatever feature that you think is going to help you look more professional. That's the big goal, so that you can establish credibility. Right when you pop on and they see you for the first time on video and you see them for the first time, who cares what it could be a hoarder house. You really don't care what their background is. But I mean, you do if that's the house. If that's the house you're going to go buy and it looks like a hoarder background, you are going to care. But generally, you just have to come off super professional. And yes, like I said, I will put a tie on for a deal meeting. Usually not a suit jacket. Ladies, a nice top or a jacket, something like that that's, looks professional. And take the time to establish credibility, build rapport, note things in their background, say, wow, your background is so nice. People love to hear that, by the way, and especially if people took a little time to have a nice background, or even if they're putting in a blurred background. Now, remember, the other thing you can do is put in a fake background. A lot of people like the Golden Gate Bridge. A lot of people like that tropical beach where the waves are coming in. But that's just, I like that stuff fine for a social call, but not so great for a business professional call. So if you're picking a background to use, I would pick something that looks like an office, which they have some good ones on there. So check out your phone, know what your background is, know what you look like, make sure you look professional, maybe put a little money into a camera. And you know what? It's crazy. It's not that much. So it's this Avaya, whatever I told you, H20, I think. But it's the one that zooms in, zooms out, and has all the cool features on it. So it comes with a remote, so you can do all the cool stuff on it. And so probably your camera doesn't do that. So this one is my favorite. It took me a long time to find this one too. So I would definitely take that down if you want to buy a cool camera. Now this camera was only, you think, I used to spend $2,000 on cameras, high-tech video stuff and professional video gear. I spent, I think the last expensive camera I bought was about $7,000. But now, these little cameras that are very high-tech and very good quality, I think it was like $350 if I remember correctly. So not going to break the bank, and you can do a lot of cool things and look and have a very nice image and not get all washed out and not have those other problems with those cheapy cameras. This just plugs in right to your computer, so it's a real easy installation, and it's a really cool little camera. So be conscious of your background. You're going to be doing lots of video deal meetings, closing deals all around the country, and virtual deal meetings is a big part of that. Okay, let's do our I love virtual deal meetings. Let's just say that. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I love virtual deal meetings. I love virtual deal meetings. Yes, I love virtual deal meetings. That's right. So guys, we're going to get out there and do them wherever you guys can find. I like that 1% rule. So if you can find a city where you're getting $1,500 a month for a $150,000 house or better, that's what we're targeting in those distant cities. So a lot of you guys have our deals at a distance system. If you don't have that, let us know and we can help you out with that or anything else. Just let us know what you need and we'd be happy. We got something to address any need out there. So let's take a nice deep breath in with a big smile. That always feels great. Another deep breath in. Oh, and another deep breath in, always with a big smile. Ah, that feels great. What a great way to start the day. So be aware of your video background for deal meetings and to make yourself more powerful, effective, build rapport, establish credibility, and close those deals. Till I see you next, keep expecting success. That'll be tomorrow morning. Taking action and always getting the awesome training from us right here. So we'll be seeing you guys tomorrow morning, same time, same Wolf channel.